Hello and welcome guys to a new episode on Sport Predictor Fanatic. Today we're going to predict the Ligue, but as always we're first going to get into the transfers they've done. But because I'm not that known with Ligue, I'm actually gonna do it in pretty short, the transfers. I'm just gonna do the main ones, of course. Um, then we're gonna head into what I think will be the top 18 of this league. So yeah, let's get freaking into it. Um, oh yeah, as said, only the main transfers. So when I say PSG have bought this player, it doesn't mean they haven't bought any other players. It just means those are the main ones. Just saying. But yeah, let's get into it. And we're gonna actually start with PSG, of course. They have actually bought João Neves from Benfica and Pacho from Eintracht Frankfurt. Besides this, they got many players back from loan, but no real names there. But they've also sold some players like Mbappe, of course. Of course, left the club for free. But also Keylor Navas, who actually left the club for free. And there's actually no... well, I have actually no idea where he's going. Because he's not actually signed yet. Then we go to Monaco. Monaco have actually bought players like Ilinek Heina. It's a 17-year-old from Royal Antwerp. Maurice, a 19-year-old from Toulouse, Camara, a 20-year-old from Metz, and Kehrer from West Ham, but he was already here on loan last season. But they've also sold some players with, also not Camara, but of course being another one. I think this one is 24 years old, being sold. Then we have Stade Brest. I think the biggest player they bought was Le Cardinal from Lens, but he was already here on loan last season, so now they've bought him. They've also sold some players, with Brachet being the most known one. Lille have bought Saroui from Heerenveen as biggest guy. I actually think he's really good. But it is instead of Eleni Yoro, who's of course left to Man United. And then we are going to Nice. I think the biggest players they bought are actually Klaus from Marseille, Sanson from Aston Villa, and Ndombele from Tottenham. The biggest players sold are of course Thuram, who went to Juventus, and Todibo, who's going to West Ham on loan. Then we're going to Olympique Lyon. I think actually they've bought some good players with Niakate of Nottingham, Nuama of RWDM, a Belgian club, but he was already on loan here last season. Mangala from Nottingham, but he was already on loan here last season as well. Miko Tatse from Metz, of course, had a great Euros. And Benrahma, West Ham, but he's from West Ham, but he was also on loan here last season. I think the biggest player sold is Jacob Bryan, who actually went to Everton. Then we go into Lens. I think the biggest player that they got is Sarr from Chelsea, and they sold some players, but I think why he going to Marseille being actually the biggest one. Well, here we are at Marseille. They've actually bought Mason Greenwood, Wahi, and Kone, but they also got Carboni, Brachet, and Heubjerg on loan. So the last three were on loan, the other ones are actually bought. But they also had to sell some players with NDI, Sarr, another Sarr, and Aubameyang being like the most known ones. Then the Stade Rams, their biggest player bought is Kipre. Gonna be honest, don't even know the player. Well, the biggest player sold is Richardson, who went to Fiorentina. Gonna be honest, don't know him. I think for Rennes, the biggest players bought are Kroonbeck from Bodo Glimt, Camara from Leeds, and Oostergaard from Napoli. But they also sold some players like Lefebvre, who's going to Roma, Terrier, who's going to Leverkusen, and Belosian, who's also going to Leverkusen. Then we have Toulouse. They've actually bought Cresswell from Leeds as most known one, and have sold, of course, Dallinga to Bologna and Mawissa to Monaco. Montpellier have not bet any player yet. They only got one player from the B team joining the first team and got two players back from loan, where one of them already got sold as well. Besides this, they've also sold two other players, but nothing really noticeable here. Then Strasbourg, they have actually bought Limerichal from Monaco, Doué from Rennes, and Wiley from Chelsea, but they got him on a loan. I'm gonna be honest, don't really know the names. But they also sold some people with Sissoko going to Bochum, Angelo going back to Chelsea because he was here at Strasbourg on loan, and Kevin Gamero, of course, old legend. Then we have Nantes. They've actually bought Abline. Of course, he was already here last season, but he's now actually bought because last year he was on loan from Rennes. And actually, they sold no one really noticeable, gotta be honest. And then Le Havre. I think the biggest player they got is Zouiaoui. I can't say the name, I'm gonna be honest. He's from Martigues, and I actually have no idea who he is. And actually, the most known names that have been, that left the club are Ayew and Bayo, who was a Lille player and now is back to Lille. Auxerre have bought Koulibaly from Nordsjælland, and I think the biggest player sold here is Hein, who's going to Metz. Then we have Angers. I think the most known player here bought is Alevinha from Clermont, and the biggest player sold is Valerie from who's going to Sheffield United. I think the biggest. Then we have Saint Etienne. The biggest player there is Davitashvili going to Bordeaux, Boakier going to Wolfsberger, and Milan Dinkovic going to from Kukarici. Those are the three players most known they've bought. And then you have they've also sold some players, with Chambeau actually as most known one going to the club Columbus. And with that, we have done all the transfers, so let's get into the prediction phase. Okay, so let's get into the actual prediction part of the video. Yeah, and let's just get straight into it. I mean, we're gonna predict the winner. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, this is really boring. Champions, woo! Yeah, no. I think there is no way to really go about it, but yeah, they will win the league. They just have the best team. Yeah, let's just move straight on. I think actually second is gonna be Olympique Lyon. Yeah, I think actually they have a pretty good transfers market this season. I think they have a pretty strong team. And I actually think they should be way higher than they were last season. I think they became 4th or 5th or something. So yeah, I think they're gonna become second. Then I have AS Monaco, of course, the team that became second last season. I think they're gonna do well again, just one spot below last season. And I think that is totally fine. Then we go to Lille. I actually think they're gonna do pretty well, but just 4th. It's alright, but it's not the absolute best. Let's be honest. But they're gonna do okay. They're gonna do pretty okay. Then I have Nice at the 5th place, and Then I might have like the surprise of this season, Brest, at 6, because they've actually done really well last season and they haven't made that much transfers. But I think with all those playing in like Europe, which was of course a surprise for them, I think they're gonna crumble a little bit. But that's fine. I mean, 6 is still good. And then Olympique Marseille, of course, now we have basically the biggest club there. At spot number 7, I don't think they're going to do well, but I don't think they're going to absolute shithouse the whole competition. So 7th is like the place where I put them. Then I'm going to do the last place now. The last place I actually think is going to be Angers. They've, of course, just promoted. Yeah, I think they're gonna have a tough time here. I don't think they're money-wise they're that good either. I may be wrong, but judging by their transfers, I don't think they have the most money. And actually, the team that's gonna end up in relegation with them is gonna be Le Havre. I actually think they are gonna do pretty bad. Well, as you can see, but of course last season they survived. But I actually think they're gonna fuck up this time. And then another team that I think is going, well, not direct relegation, but I think they have playoffs with the 16th team, and that is Montpellier. I think it's going to be them who are going to be in that spot. They don't have the best team, didn't make the best transfers. Clear as that. And now we're going to head into like the mid-table, and the mid-table I always find so hard. It's normally so freaking close. Like 1 win, 1 loss can put you up like 3 spots sometimes. So I think this is really hard. I'm just going to speed a little bit through it with Lens. I think Rennes become after that. Then I'm actually gonna put Rhymes. And I'm gonna put. Actually, don't really know. I think I'm gonna put Nantes up there. I think Nantes are gonna do really okay. I mean, I think these 4 teams are like good, never gonna drop. Well, not never, but not gonna drop this season, like not even close. But they're not gonna be in European contest as well. But yeah, let's get to the 12th place. I actually think Toulouse is one of those clubs as well, and I think these clubs, Strasbourg, has to worry. Auxerre has to worry. Saint Etienne has to worry. But yeah, no, I think they're gonna make it. But yeah, this is actually my prediction. So for now, I wanna thank you all for watching. Please have a great day, and I'll see you.